Hey everybody, this is Vincent and Maslow, your motorcycle movers at Motorcycle Mover LA, and today a comparison. New school, old school, MV Agustas, the greatest superbike on the planet. So let's begin with this extraordinarily rare classic bike, the 1971 MV Agusta America 750 Triple. For those of you that don't know the history of MV Agusta, it's not only one of the most significant motorcycles in racing, but also a very colorful past. The company was founded by an Italian count, Count Agusta, who was a wild man and he loved motorcycles, and he wanted to build his own racing company. Not much different than Enzo Ferrari or Lamborghini wanted to do. Agusta wanted to build his own bikes, and he did. And this was the 750 MV Agusta America 750 Triple. MV Agusta was really famous for their three-cylinder race bikes. They won 37 world championships, and I'm old enough to recall when MV Agusta was actually still racing under one of the greatest riders of all time, arguably Giacomo Agostini. And 37 world championships, I believe, is still a record. I don't think even today any other motorcycle company has broken that record. So one of the things, a couple of the things that are significant about this, it's a triple, just like the modern day Brutale 800. So the 800's motor has some historical significance in its layout, but you'll notice some differences. The Brutale is a chain drive. The 750S was a shaft drive. And the word on the street, the folklore is that Agusta didn't want privateers on his bikes, so he did them shaft drive because it made it more difficult to race the bikes. The motor, as you can see, is sand cast. These motors they're beasts. They're absolute beasts. This is an analog, very brutal, very raw motorcycle, and if you stick around, you're going to hear us start it up. You'll see that the riding position on the bikes back in that day, like you were completely stretched out. This is very much in the spirit of endurance racing. These bikes are very rare. I think maybe the 750 America, probably 60 of these came into the United States. How many are left? Who knows? Very few. This one was purchased for one of our clients from a collector in Chicago. Then we brought it into a specialist. He spent almost a year going through the bike. And how did he do? Well, we'll find out when we push that starter button shortly. But let's move on to its younger sibling, the Brutale 800. And now we have the modern MV Agusta, the cousin of the 750 America S Triple, the Brutale 800 Triple. So MV Agusta, under the leadership of the Agusta family, closed in the late 70s, early 80s. The company was closed for quite a while. Then the Castiglione family of Italy gave rebirth to the company in '99. They released the F4, and the company's been under the stewardship of the Castigliones. They actually sold it to Harley Davidson, and then they bought it back. And as many of you may or may not know, it's been under different ownership ever since. But one thing that's always been continuous is the refinement and the development of the bikes. If you go on the MV Agusta website, it says #motorcycle art, and that's been true ever since the inception of the motorcycles. Now this is the 75th anniversary edition of the MV Agusta Brutale. You can see the red and gray paint scheme. That was a red and gray, red and silver was very used quite extensively. They were the race team colors. And one of the things I love about this bike is they announced the triple engine with these three pipes on the one side. It looks really good with that open swing arm. They kind of slashed the pipes to go with the radius of the wheel. 800 cc's, 3-cylinder, modern spec, great suspension, great bikes, very edgy ride. Also, not a super comfortable bike, which is common with MVs. I've spent a lot of time and a lot of miles on this bike, And it's a very edgy bike. It's very hard riding. Extremely fun on a really tight road. Really miserable on every other road. It's an MV Agusta, man. It's a sport bike. It's not made to be a commuter or something in between. It's a bike you get on it and you know you're on an Italian sports motorcycle. They have a beautiful heritage and a beautiful culture, and just the personality of the bikes are really fantastic. If you haven't rode an MV or visited one of their dealers, you really should, and take a look at these bikes up close and personal. How much design language they put into it, like this area with the seat being open, and then the scoops kind of match that opening. There's all kinds of little Easter eggs and details all over these bikes, and they're really well made. This one's got about 10,000 miles on it. It's never taken a trip to the shop. So they're the modern day MV Agustas. Their reputation for reliability, I don't know what it is personally, but from my experience, the bikes run pretty well. So what we're going to do next is put these two bikes side to side, new school and vintage, fire them up, have a little exhaust war. Meet you outside. And now the fun part. We're going to make a little noise here. We're going to do a little comparison of the sound of the modern 800cc MV Agusta triple on this Brutale versus old school, the vintage 750 triple from 1970. First, the modern bike. So I think that sound comparison says it all. There ain't no school like the old school, and MV Agusta was the head master.